Yes, yes, everybody, the moment we've all been waiting for is finally here. As you can see, Milos Kerkez is officially a Red. I want that energy in the building. How is everybody feeling about this signing? Come on. Guys, we thought the announcement was going to be I really thought the announcement was going to be yesterday, but it doesn't look like it didn't end up happening, obviously. And I did have a feeling it was going to be around 12 p.m. or maybe 1 p.m. UK time, around that time. And we got it, baby. We got it. How's everybody? How's everybody in the building? Come on, guys. We're going to go through together. We're going to go through the quotes. We're going to go through what he said. We're going to react to all of it live time, you guys, as this has just been announced by Liverpool Football Club around 11 minutes ago, and he will be reunited with his fellow international teammate in Dominic Soboslai. I cannot wait, you guys. I cannot wait to see all the content. I cannot wait. Look at that in the Liverpool shirt, bro. He looks so excited to join Liverpool Football Club. That's the kind of energy we're looking for. That's the kind of energy we want joining our football club. Milos Monday, it ended up being Milos Thursday, baby. Let's freaking go. How's everybody feeling in the building? How's everybody feeling in the building? You best believe he's going to bring crazy energy. He is absolutely going to be bringing crazy energy. He absolutely will be. I'm actually buzzing at this transfer window. Me too. Is he signed now? Yes, he is. Yes, he is signed indeed. Ashton, thank you very much for the super chat, who says Milos Kerkez. Happy Kerkez Day, everybody. I want everybody spamming those W's. Saki Master says this window has literally been 10 out of 10. I'm so happy. Me too. Bro, we're going to be a completely different team next season than we were to last season, and that's a very exciting prospect when you consider that we won the Premier League in April. What is going on at our football club, bro? What is going on at our football club right now? Train FC, nice to see you, who says this is so exciting. I'm currently on holiday and was traveling yesterday and was really stressed I would miss the official announcement since it wasn't on Tuesday, but he seems so cool and a good guy. Oh, man. Yeah, we will get footage when Frimpong and Verts are reunited. Don't you worry about that. We will absolutely be getting that. We will absolutely be getting that. But let's have a look here. Let's have a look, you guys. Oh, they're reunited. I can't wait to hear the roar. Bro, I can't wait for the quotes right now. So the first initial quotes that have come, he said, "It's a real honor for me, a privilege to come to play for one of the biggest clubs in the world, the biggest club in England. I'm just really, really happy and excited." Bro. I can't believe we've sealed all three of these signings before July even, you guys. We're not in freaking July, and we've sealed 3 big signings. It's crazy. Yeah, Go 12. The only thing is, all the most reliable sources are saying that now we're going to go through a period of selling because we've spent major money on, obviously, Verts, Frimpong, and now Kerkez. Now it's going to be about all going. So Harvey Elliott likely leaving. Kostas probably likely leaving. Kostas or Robbo, one of the two left backs. Tyler Morton probably leaving. Ben Doe could leave. Darwin will leave, it looks like, to Napoli. So there's a lot of players now that, and I think the focus from the recruitment team, I think all of them will be. Oh shoot, did it not work? I just changed the title. Let me know if that's fixed. Troy King, let me know if it's fixed. The title now, okay? I don't know why it bugged. I think it was just a streaming platform that bugged. But it should be all fixed now. It should be all fixed up. Okay, and we're going to listen to the first little segment here. Yeah, true. So I think Elliott, Darwin, Robbo, Kwanzaa are, yeah, they're going to be on their way out. I mean, again, it's going to be one of the two left backs. One of the two left backs is going to be leaving. Wait, what? Bro, why is it bugging? God, sometimes this streaming platform does suck. Sometimes it really does suck. I don't know what it's done here. Bro, this streaming platform sucks. Why is it bugging like this? I had everything set up and now it's doing this. Let me just fix this for 1 sec. They created another separate live for some reason. It's really badly done. Everything was set up, and this is why now I understand that it was bugging when I started the live. I couldn't see any of you guys in the building, and it's for that simple reason. Prism? Bro, I've always used the same one, but I might need to switch. I might need to switch because right now it really disappointed me because I had all this prepped and it started a completely separate live to the one that I had already prepped. So I'm kind of pissed about that. But let me get it all fixed now. I'm going to have to fix it live time. That's super annoying. But it is life. Sometimes these things happen and you just fix it in the moment. You just fix it in the moment. It's not even... Kerkez has officially signed indeed. And guys, we're going to have a look at what he said in his interview and we can all react to it live time together. Okay, you guys? That's what we're going to be doing. Now, the first video, there was a short one. We're going to be listening to the audio of it, which was released on Liverpool's YouTube. Let's have a look here. Liverpool FC.
Huge congratulations and welcome to Liverpool. Can you describe your feelings to us right now?
Thank you very much. I'm really happy. It's a real honor for me, privilege to come to play for one of the biggest clubs in the world, biggest club in England, and I'm just
biggest really, club in England, indeed.
For that to be a reality, though,
yeah.
After speculation and talks going on, how does that feel to you as a player?
You know, it's you can't have much peace because you know it's Liverpool and you want to be a Liverpool player, and I think it's should be every kid's dream. And yeah, I was just waiting nearly every day, and what is happening.
We know he's been waiting. We know he's been waiting.
And a couple of days ago, a week ago, he told me it's falling good and that we are flying this week here. So really happy.
You talked about that being a dream. How aware of you as a young boy of Liverpool and the success and the history that comes with this wonderful club as well?
Yeah, obviously I watched a lot. I'm 21, so I start to watch.
He's only 21.
13, 14, and to be really into Liverpool. And obviously I remember a lot of legends. Let's say obviously in the left back, I watch a lot of clips about John Risa and
John Risa.
Obviously,
bro, he's gonna be banging in goals like Risa did, because he can shoot.
Watched a lot of videos and games of him, and for me, just like I say, it's real honor.
Bro, we need to keep Robbo as his mentor. We need to keep Robbo as his mentor.
Now, and I just want to get going.
It's funny you mentioned John Risa's name because people might be able to see some similarities in the way you play, your style as well.
Yeah, probably. I watch a lot of videos, and he was also.
The video is questionable 11 LFC, but we can react to the interview.
I love him a lot. And
Nathan Johnson, happy Milos Day indeed. Come on. If Liverpool champions, they want to say that says a lot about you as a
their level.
And they want you exactly. He's a huge increase on what we have. Huge, you guys. That is huge. Big up Alex, who's been a community support member for 6 months. I appreciate the support, bro. Who says Kerkez and I get my cast off on the same day. Wow, bro. Congratulations. Yeah, it's just the audio. It's the actual video that you can't show. But yeah, guys, as you can see, he's buzzing. I mean, to be fair, we knew he was buzzing, even with all the rumors that we saw. The fact he was on a podcast, not shortly before then, he was liking stuff. He's obviously so excited to be a Liverpool player. And what I love as well is obviously his fellow countryman in Subasai is there, so he's going to help him settle. But, he's already Premier League proven, and he definitely gives us what I think Robbo gave in his prime, which is those legs, and he's good defensively too. He's gonna bring a lot going forward. He's scored goals, in his career so far. But man, guys, I'm just so excited. Look at that, man. Before July 1st, we've sealed the deals. Officially announced Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, and Milos Kerkez. Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, anybody else that's working behind the scenes, fair play. Fair play. I did not see us having a window like this. We had some indications, like Van Dijk in towards the end of the season, he said it will be a big summer. And you heard Arne Slot talk about bringing in new weapons to the team. So there were kind of some hints, but I really did not expect it this big. And the fact that we've bought before we've sold is also something I feel like we didn't do in the past. It felt like before we had to kind of sell, before we had to have the guarantees of sales before we buy. But this summer, the way we've gone and got our first targets in every position and our X factor player in Florian Wirtz this early, it says it all about how we're run behind the scenes. We're seeing it here. New name, same person. Yes, bro. Wait. Wifa 64? That's you, Sonny, right? Sonny, that's you. This feels like a dream. It really feels like a dream. Honestly, it really feels like a dream. Let's see what other quotes we can get here. Let's see what other quotes. Kerkez says it was always Liverpool. Bro, I love him already. It was always Liverpool. That's a beautiful quote. It's you, Sonny. Okay, nice to see you in the building. Come on. Yeah, Pesci also. So we're going to have 3 Hungarians now at the club. We're becoming Hungary FC, Dutch FC, and Goalkeeper FC. I'm not complaining, though. Trust, I am not complaining whatsoever. No way would I ever be complaining. How much for Kerkez? Around £40 million is the final fee. £40 million. Sonny, I feel like you made Sonny Hughes iconic though from all the history. I feel like you should keep your OG name. Uchiwa says, bro, do you realize that more players are potentially coming in? So excited, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Tavi, nice to see you in the building too. But first, like I said, we're going to be focusing on outgoings now. We are going to be focusing on outgoings right now. But that's not a bad thing because I think there's a lot of players who, rightfully so, it's their time to move on. You know what I mean? But man, you guys, I'm so glad that we were able to get it done too, because now all 3 of these players, guys, who could be potential starters on match week 1, they're all going to have a full preseason. They're all going to be there from the first day of preseason, and that's huge for us. Absolutely huge for Arne Slot so that he can get them ready. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable, the position that we're in right now. And next season's Champions League final, by the way, you guys, is in Hungary as well. So imagine, we can't get ahead of ourselves. We got to calm down. We got to calm down. But imagine the scenes. I'm just saying, for Szoboszlai, Kerkez, and Pesci, if he's there too, it would be crazy. Vlahovic to Liverpool, not so sure about that one. I don't think we've never really been linked with him over the years. So I don't see why we'd go for him now. I'm not so sure. Bro, this is unbelievable. Yo, Patrick, nice to see you in the building. Going a long car journey, so I'll get the clips in the car. So I have something to do. Big up, Patrick. Kerkez looks so sick in our kit. Yes, indeed. Bro, I'm so hyped. I'm preparing now to a quote, which is that for him it was only ever Liverpool. He would have had a lot of clubs interested this summer, but I just think it's I just love it. I love players that show that type of enthusiasm towards Liverpool, that desperately want to be here. And that's the only attitude that we want, and the three that have come in, what I love is it's so clear that they've joined Liverpool for just pure footballing reasons and the type of football that we're going to be playing next season and how the future looks under Adne Slot. Because the likes of Verts, Frimpong, Kerkez, they're very young players who can start for almost any team in the world, so the fact that they've chosen this project for me, like, I get goosebumps thinking about it, because whatever we have lined up behind the scenes shows that our future is very, very bright. Dean says, I don't want to be on a downer, but I'm delighted with the transfer window. I'm worried with Ebu and the striker situation. Wait, with Ibu. Oh, okay. Nah, Dean, I think we can have that kind of conversation another day, but when a player gets announced, we just gotta soak it in, bro. We gotta soak it in and enjoy it, because if we're already stressing about another player signing or not, I'm just someone that's gonna trust the process, because even if, let's say, Ibu Konate leaves, then maybe I see it as being meant to be. Maybe, I'm you guys know I'm the biggest Ibu Konate fan. But if he doesn't end up signing for a reason, or whichever reason it is, then I believe it would have been meant to be. It was meant to be in that way. And we're going to find a plan B. And I fully trust whoever's in charge to make sure that plan B is a top plan B. You know what I mean? Because they've proved it time and time again that when we've lost players, we've replaced in those positions superbly well. And I'm personally of the belief that we should, pay him well, because he's very difficult to replace. But, if they rate Margehi, for example, that highly, and we end up going for him, again, I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to trust the process because of what they've shown. They can deliver for us. Bro, I saw it. Yeah. No, the United fans are not happy because he said biggest club in England. That's why the United fans, there were some United fans in the building that were unhappy about some of his quotes. But, I mean, one team is a Premier League champion and one team finished, I don't know where in the league last season, but probably not in a very good position, to say the least. Is Robbo staying? Right now, I'm 50-50 whether it's going to be Costas or Robbo that leaves, but it's going to be one of the two, either or. That's for sure. That there's no doubt about. It's going to be either or, because there's no way we're going to have three first team left backs. There's just no way. There's no way we would do that. No, next is going to be, the focus is going to be on a lot of outgoings. That's what the focus will be on. And the Isak deal is going to be very hard to get done, bro. I'm not getting my hopes up on that. I'm not. I'd rather be pleasantly surprised, because I think the chances of it happening are like 10 to 20%. If I'm being probably optimistic, because of the price that we're talking about and the fact that Newcastle don't have to sell. You know what I mean? God, I love him. What a time to be alive, baby. What a time to be alive. Hello, Reds. We got a Milos Kerkez in the building already. Let's go. Patrick says, what excites you most about Kerkez and what type of dynamic do you think he'll bring to us? What excites me most about the signing of Milos Kerkez, I think, A, is that he's Premier League proven and he's proven to be one of the best left backs in the league. So it means there's no adjustment period needed. Whereas Frimpong, for example, I would expect him maybe to need a bit more time. Also with playing more of a traditional right back role, if that makes sense. But there's Connor Bradley anyways there who has experience in the Premier League. So we have that backup and we'll have that competition, which is great for them. So one, that he's Premier League proven. So you expect him match week 1 to be at that level. I understand that level because he's faced all these teams already. You know what I mean? And then 2, the attacking threat that he'll bring that Robbo had in his prime. And what I mean is in the final third, whipping those crosses in. But I think Kerkez has that added on threat of actually being able to be a real threat. You see some of the goals he scored for Bournemouth, they're beauties. And before, he also scored goals. So he'll bring a real threat in the final third. And then just the fact that he's solid defensively. You know, I have to say I didn't watch most of Bournemouth's games, but when Mohamed Salah was up against him, I thought he did really well. You know, I thought he did a real good job defensively when he had to focus on those defensive duties. So to me, he seems like he's quite complete already. So there's only real places for him to grow. So the fact that he's already on this level at 21 with the kind of mentality that he's showing, bro, that's... You said what's most excited? I feel like I could go on just about everything I'm most excited about this signing, but man, it's a special time to be alive. It's such a special time to be alive right now. God, I'm getting too excited. I'm going to need to calm down. Look, I love this as well. When Kerkez was flying back out of Liverpool to finish his holiday, he was wearing his Liverpool shirt in the plane because he's so proud to be a Liverpool player now. God, I love it. He's so proud to have signed for a football club. Come on. Gosh, what a guy. Forget match week 1, bro. We're going to cook preseason games from next month. Yeah, Uchiwa, except preseason games don't matter. I'd rather we don't go so intense in preseason games and keep our energy for the season. But obviously, it's good to have some intensity to get you ready. But all that really matters is when the season gets started. Let's be honest. From match week 1 against Bournemouth when we play them at home. Against Kerkez's old club, by the way. How true is that? And innocent, I don't think we're going to go for Gyökeres because Sporting are asking for a lot of money. And I think we're not going to take that risk again of spending big money on a striker that scored a lot of goals in Portugal like we did with Darwin. I don't see it. Hamster, imagine we won leagues back to back. That would be crazy. Dean Hayes says, you're right, Leo. I must trust the process of Liverpool. I just panic because I want the best for Liverpool. Yeah, me too. But I actually listened to a podcast this morning from David Ornstein, and apparently all the clubs around the world are looking towards Liverpool, saying that we're the best in the business in terms of how well of a run of a football club we are. We're the best in the business. David Ornstein says that's the reputation of Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, all those that are in charge. And that's what I mean about trust the process. I think if they believe that they can find a better alternative, if let's say Ibu is to leave this summer, then I would trust that. You know what I mean? Even though I, of course, want him to stay. But whatever decision gets made, it's just, I think we have to cherish these moments of being Liverpool fans, because I don't know how long this kind of stability is going to last, you know? And it's just like, you know, like if there's ever a time to complain, it's definitely not now. Or be worried, it's definitely not now. Like, this is one of those moments where we just have to enjoy and cherish and be positive, because you look on the other side at clubs like Man United. You look at even, you know, City obviously is in a good place, but Pep Guardiola is going to be leaving that football club soon. So that's uncertain what's going to happen. They still have those charges pressed against them. There's a lot of things with a lot of clubs around right now. And I do feel like we're probably the most stable. Look at Arsenal, for example. They're in a good position, but the Arsenal fans are so angry or unhappy right now because they're not going big in the window and they're worried about next season. So there's just so much going on. Patrick says, Leo, if Kerkez scores 15 goals this season, you got to get his mullet. If he scores 15 goals this season, I'm getting a mullet. Promise. Shake on it. But please, now I don't want that to happen because I hate mullets. But that would be such good news. If he scored 15 goals, then I don't know what kind of football we'd be playing next season, but it would be very, very exciting football. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ari says, honestly, I just want the season to start now. I'm too excited. Me too. Me too. Me too. I'm way, 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 way too excited. Shout out to Jake Kelly in the building. What's good? We still have another signing yet. 100% dimension. 100%. We're still going to be signing at least another player. No doubt about it. Whether that's a center back, Kwanzaa left, remember, this summer, or a striker, Darwin's going to leave, then I definitely think, I think my prediction is we'll sign two more. A center back and a striker. Or an attacker. I don't know necessarily a striker, but for example, a Malik Fofana, potentially, from Lyon, who just got relegated to the second division. You know, unfortunately for them, I feel really bad for all the Lyon supporters because I know how much that football club means to them. But Milos Kerkez on Anfield said, quote, my brothers put Anfield on the TV before games and how the fans are and everything. Everyone in my family, everyone in my hometown can't wait for me to step into Anfield. That's beautiful. That is so beautiful. Kerkez, by the way, said, quote, Robbo is the best left back that played in the Premier League for me. I can see Kerkez scoring on the opening day against Bournemouth. Imagine the scenes. Imagine the absolute scenes. I feel like we've been really good at replacing players this window completely. For example, we replaced Trent before he even left. Same with Robo Costas, and obviously we're interested in Guehi too. I think the only one that was maybe out of left field that we didn't expect to sell this summer, I think, is Jarell Kwanzaa. But because the terms of the deal were so enticing probably for us, the fact that we could get £30 million up front and the fact that we have that buyback clause, I think meant that we kind of had to go for it, that it was such a good deal for us and it was more money coming in that we probably need now with all the outgoings and the fact that we still want to sign 1 to 2 players. I think that was a no-brainer, but we probably didn't expect that to move so quickly. You know what I mean? But yeah, who do you think? Daniel, it all depends. We'll have a number of targets for attackers, a number of targets for center backs. I think we shall see. We shall see what happens next. Do you think we need a Zubamendi type player? No. No Alex Brooks, because the problem is if you want to sign on a really good defensive mid, he would cost you 40 million plus, you know? And we already have Endo and Bajetic there, so it doesn't make sense to spend 40 million in a position where we have Gravenberch already, who was the young player of the season, to be a backup to Gravenberch. I think it makes no sense. And that's why I don't see us signing a defensive mid this summer unless Endo and Bajetic leave, which I don't see them wanting to leave. So I don't think we sign a defensive mid. Like I said, the two positions I think we focus on are an attacker and a center back. And I could see that center back being Gehi. For a striker, I think Isak is very unlikely, but we'll try. I think there's probably a 10 to 20% chance Isak happens. If it's not Alexander Isak, I could see us going for a more versatile attacker who can fill different positions like a Malik Fofana from Lyon. That's my personal prediction. That's my personal prediction for what this window will be. And yeah, I think Hugo Ekitike is still a target for us, for sure. I think he's still a target, but he's more of a plan B probably if they really drop their fee. Because apparently Frankfurt are looking for minimum 80 million. And I don't see us spending minimum 80 million for a player who scored 4 goals the season prior. Last season, he had a great season, right? Many are now talking about him and interested. But the season prior, I checked, he scored 4 goals. So I don't think we'd be willing to put big money unless Frankfurt really drop their fee, which they might do later in the window once they see no team is willing to pay that much. Otherwise, like I said, I could see us signing a versatile attacker with Darwin leaving, Chiesa probably leaving, and all the rest, you know. And then for the shirt number, John, it all depends on who ends up leaving, whether it's Robbo, Costas. We don't know who's leaving yet. That will free up a shirt number, and that's why we haven't announced what number Milos Kerkez is going to be wearing either. I think that probably won't happen till August also, because in August is when our deal with Adidas starts, you know? So it probably won't be until then. Yeah, I could see us going for Mark Gehi next. I could really see that happening, for sure. I mean, Gene, I think you saw from last season that Slot really liked playing a kind of false nine, not a traditional striker in down the middle, like we saw with Lucho towards the second half of the season. Soboslai played there against City. Verts could potentially play there. We still have Jota, who's probably going to stick around. And yeah, you know, so I think that striker position, I don't see us necessarily going for a traditional line like a Gyökeres, like you guys were mentioning before. I just didn't see that from Slot last season, you know, so we'll have to see. I think Atleti are looking at other options if Liverpool ask for too big of a fee. But we shall see. There's nothing new. There's nothing new on the front of Robbo. So once there is something new, I would let you guys know. Soboslai as a false nine would be great. 100%. Barcola, no PSG. There's been reports now that PSG don't want to sell Barcola, and for them, he's unsellable. They're not making him available in the market, and they're going to be offering him a big new contract. So Barcola is out of the question. Yeah, and the reason too why I think it's pretty clear is Slot had out and out number nines when everybody was fit towards the end of the season. He had the likes of Jota, he had the likes of Darwin, and yet he still preferred to play Lucho down the middle. And I think that is an indication as to how he's going to set up this season. You know, because even Alexander Isak, yes, you could say his best position is as a striker, and that he is a striker and he's a number 9, this and that, that he wouldn't be as good on the wings. But I think he's a very complete forward in that he's not just a player who's going to be in the box to score goals. He's someone that can come in, fantastic in the build-up play. We've seen him linking up with Gordon against Liverpool. He was very good at doing that. I could see him even being good on the left wing. So I think even Alexander Isak isn't a traditional 9 in terms of like, you know, like a target man in the box, like an Erling Haaland or like a Gyökeres or even an Osimhen. You know what I mean? They're most lethal in the box. I think you could say Isak is also very dangerous running in behind. I think you could say Alexander Isak is very dangerous with a defender behind his back because he's so good technically where he can pick it up and find one of the wingers and feed them. So yeah, I would say Isak isn't a traditional 9 either. I see him as someone who's really complete in the things that he does, you know, and that's probably why we're maybe willing to spend big money on him, you know, as it looks at least. Exactly. And that's why when people are mentioning the likes of Osimhen, Benjamin Sesko, and Gyökeres, for me, that's not the type of striker that, from what it looks at least. Again, we've only seen one season of Slot. From what I've seen, I don't think that's the type of striker he goes for. I don't think it is, you know? Hugo Ekitike is more similar to an Isak type player who's good in the link up, who's technically sound, you know? But we'll see. Again, I think there's going to be a lot of changes in the way that we play for next season. So to say that I know how we're going to set up or how things are going to be next season is just not true. Like, we don't know. You know what I mean? But that's also what's so exciting. You know what I mean? It's very, very exciting. United fans are in the building saying Slot will be sacked before Christmas. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Isak would be perfect. But again, Newcastle don't need to sell. So it will be a very, very, very difficult deal to get done. But if we do somehow, it would be a miracle. It would be an absolute miracle. Exactly. Even Bobby Firmino from before. Even Bobby Firmino from before was not a traditional. That's all those years in the club was not a traditional 9. No way. He wasn't. Voltmade, I haven't seen enough of him. I haven't seen enough of him, bro. Yeah, bro. Trust me. We all want the season to get started. I'm too excited. I'm too excited because Dean, when you mentioned those players, right, the likes of Verts, Frimpong, Kerkez, Lucho, Salah, they it also shows, and the signings that we made this summer shows that our intent for next season is to be more attacking than we were this previous season. So that's what, not just the fact that we've gone for big signings, but we've gone for big signings that are clear indications of however Slot is going to set up, it's going to be more attacking. It just will be. When you look at the characteristics of the players that we've brought in, and when you think about that, how does that not get you hyped for the new season? You know what I mean? How does that not get you hyped? You know? It doesn't seem like Leverkusen's one of the clubs that are interested in Harvey. There was actually a report from Ben Jacobs this morning that Brighton, West Ham, and Fulham are the Premier League clubs that are interested in Harvey. And then outside of England, the two clubs that are interested are RB Leipzig, right? So not Leverkusen, and the other club is Fiorentina. Yeah, because Kwanzaa left, I think the position we go for next is a center back probably. And it seems like Gehi is someone that we're looking at. Oh, breaking news. Napoli bid. Oh no, plot bid. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. The Telegraph just put out an article, you guys, on Darwin. Just put out an article on Darwin. Napoli are preparing an official bid for Darwin Núñez after identifying the Liverpool striker as their number one choice to strengthen Antonio Conte's attack for the Champions League. Conte had considered Jonathan David as a free transfer, but he's prioritizing Darwin because of his height and physical presence. He would be expected to cost around £70 million for a club to buy him this summer, with Liverpool reshaping their squad and already adding Verts to Slot's attack. Let's have a look at what else is being said here in the article. This is from a real reliable source. Yeah, so it doesn't actually say what the big will be, but it says that Liverpool want £70 million to sell Darwin Núñez this summer, with a number of clubs interested. So, yeah, it seems like, guys, he is their number one target. That's clear to see. Yo, Liverpool FC Vlogs, thank you very much for the super chat. It says Leo is looking amazing already, and I feel we're only halfway through who we want to get in. Center back and striker next. Can't wait for the Community Shield. Me too. I want W's in the building. Liverpool FC Vlogs, absolutely. I still think, like you said, I think we're still going to make two signings. We're going to make two signings, a center back and a striker. My guess is that we're going to bring in a center back first because we already sold Kwanzaa, and I could see that player being Marc Guehi or Jorel Hato. And then for a striker, I think we're going to wait to sell Darwin first. And like I just read from that reliable article, he's Antonio Conte's number one target this summer for Napoli. So hopefully they're able to pay big money for him, because then we could completely right away reinvest that in the market. He'd be class in that league completely. And that's why we, rightfully so, are holding out for big money for him, because we know the ability that he has. It just hasn't worked out at Liverpool, you know. But the fact that there are that many clubs that are interested, and the fact that Conte, like the article just said, he was looking at someone like Jonathan David who would be on a free, but Darwin is his number one target, you know, and he's a top manager. So the fact that he rates Darwin that highly tells you that top clubs are in for him. You know, they just won the Italian league, and how do they want to strengthen? Bringing in Darwin, you know. Nah, Moise Kean, he's not one I would bring in. Gehi next, come on, you Reds. And lots of sales. Lots of sales. I do unfortunately think that Harvey Elliott will leave. I do think Harvey will leave, unfortunately. Gomez, it looks like he's happy to stay at the club, and with the amount of shakeups and the amount of players that look to be leaving, I could see him staying, actually, Patrick, because he's just been around for so long. He's one of the leaders. Should Costas go to Napoli? Whichever club will pay the most for Kerkez. No, so whichever club will pay the most for Costas, and I think a lot of clubs will be interested. You know what I mean? Since Isaac is almost impossible to get, who do you think will sign at striker? I think we could go for a versatile attacker. Unless Frankfurt bring their price down in a significant way for Ugo Ekitike. Otherwise, I don't see that happening either. I really don't. But like I said before, someone like someone like Fofana. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find Kerkez's dad's Instagram right now. What's his dad's Instagram? Charlotte, nice to see you. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the Instagram of Kerkez's dad right now, but I can't find what his at is. I can't find his can't find what it is. Oh, I'll find it after. I'll find it after. Um But yeah, so you guys were asking if not Isaac, because that is looking very unlikely. The player that I personally can see us going for is Malik Fofana that I was mentioning before. He's still just 20 years old. He turned 20 just in March, born in 2005. And he's already a Belgium international, and he started 29 league games for Lyon last season. So at 20, he was already a key player for Lyon, who I believe finished in 6th place. He can play on either side, on the left or the right, so he brings that versatility. And he got 9 goal contributions, So he's someone that I think, with Lyon getting relegated to down a division as well, he could be available for a cut price. And I think, like I said, if we can't get our top target in Alexander Isak, which is going to be a very difficult one to get done, then I think we go for a profile like that, a profile similar to his, and potentially not play with a traditional 9 next season, and maybe wait a season for Isak when his value goes down and Newcastle is open to selling next season. We have to see. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you guys. You guys found his Insta? Let me paste that. Oh, I got it. Thank you. Sebast. Okay. Let's have a look. He's a left winger, but he can also play on the right. And he's someone that we were linked with before even the news that Lyon could looks like will be relegated to league, down a division in France. You know what I mean? Yeah, his dad does have Instagram, and he just posted him celebrating and singing "Ale Ale Ale" with Milos Kerkez. Big up Ultimate Football. Thank you for the super chat. It says, if you had to choose between one striker, who would you choose? Julian Alvarez or Alexander Isak? If I had to choose, bro, I would be over the moon with both. So it's hard to make a choice. It's real hard to make a choice, but I would say probably, oh God, it's hard because both are actually Premier League proven. The times I watched Alvarez for City, I thought he was really good. So I can't even make up the argument that Isak is the one that's Premier League proven. Goodness. Guys, let me know in the chat right now. If you could choose, if we could sign one more player this window and you could choose between Alvarez or Isak, who would you go for? I don't even know, bro. Because on the one hand, Isak was crazy last season and he just did that in the Premier League. On the other hand, Alvarez is also Premier League proven. He's a bit younger, I think, and he has a better injury track record. So, I don't know. Wait, how old is Alvarez? Let me check. He's 25. He's younger. Yeah, he's younger than Isak. He is. Goodness, that's hard. Goodness, that's hard. Nayer, thank you. Alvarez less injury prone, says Charlotte. Alvarez is so underrated. Isak 100%. Bro, it looks like it's 50-50. It really looks like it's 50-50 here. So Ultimate Football, that's a very good question to be asking because I can't make up my mind. I can't make up a mind. And I'll start a poll right now to see what we think in the building. But I think I'm slightly leaning towards Alvarez. Why? I'll tell you guys why. The reason why I'm slightly leaning towards Alvarez is because he is less injury prone and he's younger. Those two things. Because any argument I think you do make for Alexander Isak, for example, the fact that he just did that in the Premier League, I think that goes out of the window. Because like I said, Alvarez is Premier League proven. For the times he played for City, I thought he was superb. So, and that was his younger self too. So he's developed since then. He was won a World Cup and everything. So, I think I would go for Alvarez. I don't know, bro. Look how close it is. 48-52. 48-52. Goodness. Goodness. That is close. That is so close. Zach says, I just edge it to Alvarez because of his availability, and especially at the business end of the season when Newcastle were fighting for top 4, Isak wasn't always available. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It is. I thought Isak was 26. Am I mistaken in that? Let's have a look. Oh, you're right. They're both. Never mind. They're both pretty much the same age. He's just 6 months younger. Alvarez is just 6 months younger. You're right. So there's only a 6-month difference between both. Alvarez is born in January. And Isak is born in September. The new kits will be out on August 1st. That's when the agreement starts with Adidas, with our new kit provider. I'd love both, but I'd give the edge to Isak. Bro, let's see how close it is. %53, 47%. When is Mamardashvili arriving? Probably first day of preseason, is my guess. Probably first day of preseason. Alvarez is just winning with 51% right now. That's how close it is. And that doesn't surprise me because you saw how difficult it was for me to even make up my mind. Dean, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate you too. Thank you for the support as always. You'll never walk alone. I appreciate you. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait. What will we wear for preseason then? I mean, some of the games will be after August 1st. Some of our preseason games, like the Bilbao games. But before then, I think we have to be in our old kits. Like, imagine Nike and Adidas are very big competitors too. So if Liverpool did not follow through with that contract, bro, it would get heated. And you don't want to get involved with those huge brands in any kind of lawsuits or anything. So I think we'll have to wear our last season's kit until, like I said, August 1st. We'll have to. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Napoli are preparing an official bid for Darwin. Yep. And Fabrizio Romano just tweeted that negotiations continue between Napoli and Liverpool for Darwin Núñez. Initial request in excess of 65 million euros, but Napoli are trying to work on a deal structure and feasibility of the whole package. Darwin wants to move as reported last week, with personal terms being discussed, and Darwin is Napoli's #1 target this summer as well. #1 target. Pietra, nice to see you in the building. Yes, it's been a 10 out of 10 window so far, and our business is not over. It just looks like now we're going to focus on some of those outgoings, with Darwin potentially going to Napoli, Harvey potentially going to Brighton, a number of players that look to be moving on. Chiesa looks like we'll be going back to Italy, so there'll be a lot of movement, it seems. A lot of movement to come. Yo, Mr. H and friends, nice to see you in the building. What's good? Yeah, Darwin to Napoli, bro. I could see him doing so well there under Antonio Conte. Bro, he's gonna fit that league so much better than the Premier League. I can see him scoring a whole lot of goals. A whole lot of goals. Look, Kerkez's dad just posted this too. I guess this is the family. Look. Everybody's in Liverpool shirts now. Everybody. And he's posting You'll Never Walk Alone too, bro. He seems so hyped about the move. So hyped about the move. Liverpool looking to sign a striker and a center back. Yeah, those are the two positions, bro. Those are the two positions. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the poll. Let's have a look here. Wow, now Alexander Isak took the lead, you guys. 183 votes so far. 52% with Isak. 48% with Julian Alvarez. God damn, it's close. It's so close. But yeah, you guys, that is going to be it for this live. That is going to be it. I just wanted to live time react to this beautiful news with you guys and this beautiful start to the window. We're not even to July. But yeah, I'm going to prepare a post right now for you guys. And I'm going to see you all very soon. Beautiful. We got to have it on a Thursday. We had to wait a little bit. But man, we ain't complaining. We ain't complaining, that's for sure. But yeah, you guys, I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. And I know I will see you guys